We are here with Kim Lewis, who is one of the doyennes for the Women Honoring Women event for 2020, which is different in every shape, form, and fashion, which is why we're here today in this format. Kim is a previous honoree in the first group of our doyennes for the Women Honoring Women event for the WEDC Foundation. As I said, we've got Kim Lewis on the call with us today, and we want to start by asking Kim to tell us a little bit, if you could tell us a little bit about your career, your path, your education, just a little bit about where you are in life as a professional.
I am Kim Lewis. I'm the CEO of Project XYZ, a company that I started back in 2002. And as I shared the year, I was actually honored. When the company started, it started because at the time I was a single mom and I was trying to figure out a way to make extra income. So it wasn't started because it was some big lifelong dream that I wanted to have my own company. It was started out of necessity. And because of faith and because of a lot of hard work and dedication, it's grown into a company that now pretty much spans the world. We've got people all over the world now. So something that can start so small to have grown to this extent has been a blessing. But I couldn't do what I do without my family. So I have a husband of Larry. We've been married for 16 years now. And I have two daughters. My oldest is 25 and my youngest is 11. So they're the reason why I do what I do every day. I wouldn't say a traditional path when it comes to education. I actually, right out of high school, of course, went off to college. Thought one day I wanted to be a nurse. So I went all the way through nursing school, got to my clinicals, and realized that's not the path I wanted to go any longer. So I came back home crying to my parents. They're like, well, you got to figure something out. So I went back to the local community college here in town, Calhoun, and got my computer information systems degree. And that's how the company actually got started doing healthcare IT. So I was able to merge the things that I did from the healthcare side and the information I had gotten from the IT side, and the two matched together. So I say, yeah, it was a horror story at the beginning because I went through school and realized that wasn't what I wanted to do and didn't get that degree, but it helped me get the foundation I need to be able to do what I'm doing now.
And that's a very interesting career path. And that goes to show that nothing is ever as easy or as laid out as we may think it is in the beginning. We're in a time now of pivot, and that's exactly what you were able to do and find a way to make it work and work for you. So that is something that I think our scholars can really take note of and take encouragement from, that your path may change and it's okay. You just got to figure out a way to make it work for what lies ahead in your future.
I agree, Vicki, because I think throughout life, we're thrown a lot of curveballs. Things are going to happen that are completely out of our control, but how you respond to it actually helps determine what the outcome will be. So if you just respond to it as a negative thing or just the end of the world, that's what it's going to turn out to be. But if you look at it as a chance, like you were saying, to pivot, to change, and to figure out a new path down this new road, it can actually lead to great things.
So I'm curious, how did you first come to learn about the WEDC Foundation?
A friend years and years ago introduced me to the WEDC, and it was actually attending some of the luncheons for the WEDC. And through that is how I learned about the foundation. I didn't realize that the foundation even existed until I actually went to one of the luncheons one day, and someone gave it a presentation about the foundation. And I would attend the lunches occasionally. I wasn't yet a member. And then the year I actually was asked to be an honoree is when I truly found out what the foundation were doing and the impact that they're having on ladies' lives in general. And the fact that they were able to do that because of just a passion for women and wanted to see women succeed, it made me get more and more involved. I actually joined the WEDC at that point and have been an active member ever since. And just figuring out ways to help each other. If we don't lift each other up and figure out ways to do that, I think that we can be the strongest impact on other women by seeing other women succeed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You mentioned about the year you served as an honoree for Women Honoring Women. Tell us about that experience. What was that like, being in the midst of that moment? Walk us through that from your perspective.
It's kind of funny because I was backstage a nervous wreck. So luckily there was a lot of women back there to help calm my nerves. But I was just in awe. When you've looked back at the years of all the different honorees and the things that these women have accomplished in the community, I didn't feel worthy of it. I didn't feel that I belonged up there. But, they encouraged me and showed me where I was doing just as much as these women. But, everybody put different people on pedestals or different people in different aspects of their lives. And I was very humbled. I was just very, like I said, in awe of the fact that I would even be considered to be one of the honorees. And I looked at that as a chance for me to tell my story of how the adversities I had went through, the things that I had gone through, but still able to get to the other side. So it was a great, great, great experience.
You have done an immense amount of things on a local front and even on a global front, representing our local area. You are in high demand. Every time I look around, Kim Lewis is speaking here or going here or having a ribbon cutting. Lots of things are demanding your time. How do you decide which opportunities to take advantage of? Because I'm sure you get asked several times in a month, in a day, in a year, to participate in lots of different organizations and activities that are all very worthy causes. But what was it about this cause that compelled you to say yes to this opportunity?
The biggest thing is I got to be passionate about it. I want to be, anything I get involved in, I want it to be something that I could have an impact on. I just don't want to do it just for namesake. I want to do it because I want to give my time, give my effort, give my resources to those organizations. And anything that I decide to participate in, I do my research and try to figure out, okay, is this something that's going to fit into what I'm trying to do and have an impact in some way, a tangible impact that you can see. So when I started doing some research on WEDC and trying to figure out everything that they were doing, I could see the impact. I could actually see tangibly the things that are happening to these women's lives after going through the program and being mentored and being shown several things. So it was a great experience. It was a great chance for me to figure out how to be a part of and how to be able to be an impact in some ladies' lives. So that was the reason why I chose. And that's how I choose. It's got to be something that I'm passionate about and can see tangible results from those efforts.
Now, one of the pillars of the foundation that we offer for our scholars is the mentoring. We have a phenomenal mentoring program that we offer to all of our young ladies that are participating scholars in our program. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had a mentor, and what has that experience been like for you in your career?
I have had several mentors through my life. Whether it be from a sibling to other business people or just from different friends. I kind of consider myself a chameleon. I'm always learning. I'm always changing. I'm always trying to figure out ways to make sure I am being the best I can be. So when I'm with certain ladies, I'll ask questions. I'll engage with them to try to figure out information or to glean from them. But I have had several ladies that, like Miss Bobby Bradley, Miss Flo Stallworth. These are women in my lives that I actually would watch and saw the impact that they were having on lives in the community. And I was thinking, okay, those are the traits that I want to have. Those are the kind of things that I want to do. So I just start being a mentee kind of in the background to them by actually following what they were doing and asking them questions. I mean, we would truly have sit down meetings, but it wasn't necessarily a formal meeting. It was more so, hey, let me pick your brain on this, or what's your advice on this, and how do I navigate through this? And they were more than willing to sit down and explain to me how to go through those different obstacles.
If this program had been around when you were there, when you were at that stage, do you think this could have been an impact, could have had a positive impact on your professional trajectory?
Oh, definitely. I think it definitely would. Had I even known that it even existed. Because I think that, you know, we as women always try to take everything upon ourselves to do it ourselves or figure a way out. I would have loved to have had a group of women that I would have been able to call on or to get information from, or just to figure out a simple way of how to do something, or what resources are even out there. I mean, when you're a single mom, you don't even know what resources are out there or available to you. The WEDC was a great way of getting information out to women to let them know all the different, not just from the WEDC, but all the different other organizations that are in the community, where if they can't help, they can direct you in the right direction to get the help that you need.
What would you like to tell our scholars and our mentors to help them stay encouraged through this different time and through the course of their pursuing of their educational
I
goals?
would just say, don't give up. Continue to try and figure out what you want, how do you want it, and how to get there. I think a lot of times if you say you want certain things, but you don't lay out a plan to how to get there or go through the steps to get there, it's just a want. You've got to put in the work, you've got to put in the effort, you've got to make sure that you're doing your part of the deal to make sure you can get to where you want to be. So I would just encourage each one of them to not give up, to keep being persistent. I mean, like I was saying earlier, life is going to throw you some obstacles. Things are going to happen, but how you respond to them is how it's going to turn out. So just always look at everything as my oldest daughter always say, I'm positive Polly all the time. That glass is never half empty, it's always half full. And that means there's more room for more and more knowledge, more and more information, more and more things to come and overflow that cup. So I would just encourage them to keep trying to do that.
What would you say to those who are in our listening audience who are wondering, should I give to the WEDC Foundation? What would you say to those who are potential supporters, previous supporters? What would you say to encourage people to continue to support the WEDC Foundation?
Well, I would just encourage anybody to give to the WEDC Foundation, just from the simple fact you can see tangible results of what's happening in women's lives and how you can see those lives transition into the workforce that we also desperately need to turn into the resources in the community that we also desperately need. So to be able to see where you can give money to an organization and actually see the results on the other side, how it impacted someone's lives, that's powerful, because there's a lot of times where you can't tangibly see something that you've done have an impact. Well, this is one of those cases where you can. Won't you join us in supporting the WEDC Foundation?